Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am with another Marvel Cinematic Universe review. With my review of Thor the Dark World. So I think that this is a pretty good movie right here. I saw Nostalgia Critic's Disney December review for this movie. He felt that this movie really didn't seem that good. And I guess I could see why if it's like if it was the way he really wanted the movie to be. And yeah, he was just saying in his December review that he just wanted this to be like Thor being the real Thor. Or yeah, he just felt that that's not really what this movie did. And he just found a lot of this movie to be boring. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I think that the movie's just fine. I'm okay with everything this movie does for the most part. You know, yeah, I kind of feel the way about the two Thor movies, kind of the same way that Nostalgia Critic did for the two Parent Trap movies. I know that's kind of a weird comparison, but the way he talked about those movies in his two Disney December reviews, it's kind of the same way I feel about the two Thor movies. I'd say that this movie is probably just about as good as the first one, and yeah, you could probably see both movies and maybe just feel the same way about them. That's the way I felt about. I Yeah, that's the experience I had with this one. I enjoyed it just about as much as I did the first Thor. Yeah, you still have just about everybody from the first movie returning. There's still Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Tom Hiddleston, Anthony Hopkins, and I just Elba, Kat Dennings. Yeah, just about everybody involved in the first movie is back. And yeah, this movie kind of, it's just kind of the opposite of what the first Thor movie was. With the first Thor, it it was mainly set on Earth. With this movie, this one's set mostly in the worlds of the gods. And yeah, a lot of this movie is spent on Asgard, and I'm I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. Svar Talfheim. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Yeah, and then Vanaheim. Yeah. So yeah, this movie has a lot of it spent on the worlds of the gods, and so yeah, kind of yeah. So it's basically the has the opposite setting of the first Thor. Yeah, I did find interest in this. Yeah, this I was still interested in this movie, and yeah, it really did keep me entertained for the most part. I did enjoy the stuff with like Thor and his other gods, and yeah, once again, some more of his connection with Jane in this movie. Yeah, I think I did enjoy the connection between them in the first movie a little bit more, but I still did think that they had a good connection in this movie. Yeah, for this movie, it has like Jane. She gets it's the ether inside of her, and they're just trying to find the gods are trying to find a way to remove it from her. And yeah, we have the the main villain of this movie. He's trying to get her so he can get the ether from her, so he can inherit it and take over here. And so yeah, I did still, yeah. While the movie, I do say it's not perfect. I still did enjoy watching this movie. Like I said, I enjoyed this just about as much as I did the first Thor. I would give this movie 3.5 stars out of 4. I mean, yeah, I still, yeah, even though the movie does kind of like have its flaws to it, I still did enjoy it. So, yeah, let me just get right into it. Alright, so the movie begins eons into the past, where Odin's father, Bor, collides with Malekith, who is a dark elf, and he wants to uh, really unleash the ether on the Nine Realms. And then, and yeah, Malekith's forces are then and conquered in Svartalfheim. Yeah, once again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Yeah, the ether is then guarded by Bor in a stone column, but little does he know that Malekith and Algrim, Malekith's lieutenant, uh, escaped aped into some suspended animation. Yeah. And then in the present day on Asgard, Loki is in prison for his crimes that he committed in the Avengers. And yeah, Thor and his friends Fandral, Volstagg, and Sif are in a war, or for the Nine Realms, after the reconstruction of the Bifrost. Then yeah, they're going against Mordor's on Vanaheim. And yeah. Yeah, and yeah, the Asgardians eventually learn that an alignment of the Nine Realms, which is known as the Convergence, is imminent, and yeah, the portals are then linking through the worlds randomly, and it's showing that Jane and Darcy are in London, and yeah, Dr. Selvig has been institutionalized and he's in police custody after he's suffering mental trauma after Loki's Earth attack, and it's shown like he's running around naked, and the police caught him and took him into custody and stuff. And then Jane, Darcy, and Darcy's intern and travel to an abandoned factory. That portals have actually appeared. And then yeah, it's just disrupting their laws of physics, and Jane then just runs off, and then she gets teleported to another world, and she then gets infected by the ether. And yeah, Heimdall informs Thor that Jane is beyond on Heimdall's near all-seeing vision. And then, yeah, Jane then ends up back on Earth, and then Thor then arrives back on Earth, and then, yeah, then Thor and Jane find each other and they're reunited. And after the police are attempting to take Jane away, Jane accidentally, releases is a force that's caused by the ether. And then Thor brings Jane back to Asgard, or with him. Yeah, and then Thor or Odin and some of the other gods are looking through Jane to try to figure out if they can do what's wrong with her, and then yeah, they then discover that the ether is in her, and then yeah, mm, Odin, sorry, not Orden. Yeah, Odin then is just was telling Thor that Jane could not only be killed by the ether, but the return could uh, cause a catastrophic prophecy. And after Malekith gets awakened by the release of the ether, he then transforms Algrim into a cursed, and then he unleashes an attack on Esgard. Or, yeah, and then Malekith and Algrim come across Jane and Frigga, Thor's mother, and yeah, they're trying to go after Jane, but Frigga is protecting Jane. And then during the confrontation, then and Malekith and Algrim end up killing Frigga. Yeah, and then then Thor eventually arrives, and yeah, Malekith and Algrim just had no choice but to retreat. And eventually Thor then and just felt he had no other choice. Just after he had orders from Odin not to leave Esgard. And then he just enlisted the help of Loki, though he was pretty reluctant to do it. And yeah, Loki knew of a portal down to Svartalfheim. I mean, yeah, they have a plan, and for Jane to just lure Malekith away from Esgard to confront him. And Thor also promises Loki in return some revenge on Malekith for killing their mother. Then eventually Thor, Loki, and Jane then arrive at Svartalfheim. And at first it seems that Loki actually is turning on Thor and killing him, but then it's revealed that Loki was just tricking Malekith. Because then, Malekith ended up, like, retrieving the ether out of Jane, but then afterwards Loki then went after Malekith. And then, Thor and Loki ended up battling Malekith. Thor tried to destroy the ether substance, but he couldn't do it. Yeah. And then Loki ended up stabbing Algrim, but then Algrim just pulled Loki closer to him, where the blade just ended up going through Loki also and wounding him. And then it appeared that Loki ended up dying. But as Loki died, Thor promised Loki to tell their father of the sacrifice that he just made. And then, Thor and Jane then find another portal, that's in a cave nearby. And then it teleports them back to Earth, where they're back in London, and they reunite with Darcy and Dr. Selvig after he was freed from police custody. They eventually discover Malekith actually has plans to restore Dark Elves to dominance and unleash the power of the ether in the center of the convergence in Greenwich. Then Thor and Malekith ended up battling each other through various portals. And they ended up just going to teleporting to multiple worlds, and they eventually get separated through another portal. And then Malekith Sith is on his own on Earth, but Thor is able to return. And then use Jane, Darcy, and Dr. Selvig's equipment to send Malekith back to Svaltarfan, and then Malekith gets destroyed right after his ship ends up crushing him. And then Thor returned back to Asgard. Odin gave Thor another offer for the throne. And then Thor told Odin about Loki's sacrifice. Nice, but but as Thor was then leaving, it then showed Odin actually transforming into Loki, and he lived, and just ended with Loki thanking Thor. But and then during the credits, it showed Volstagg and Sif visiting the Collector, and puts the ether in his care. There you. The Collector ensured Volstagg and Sif that the ether would be safe in his care. And as Volstagg and Sif were leaving, the Collector just said he had 5 more to go. And then after the credits, then it showed Jane and Thor together on Earth again. But it also showed there was a frost monster from Jotunheim that was actually transported to Earth during their battle. That was just running or roaming around London. And that's how the movie ended. So kind of a funny way to end the movie like that. But anyway, that's how the movie officially ended. So like I said, 3.5 stars out of 4. As I've said, I do think that this is probably just about as good as the first Thor, depending on what kind of story that you expect. But I was just fine with the story for this movie, and it kept me entertained, as I said. And then now it's like they have planned for another Thor movie. And that's actually in the works right now. Well, that's not scheduled for release for another the next Thor movie is kind of the next Thor movie isn't set for release until next November, so that's still basically about a year and a half away. And I also forgot to mention in my last review, there's rumors that they're making an Iron Man 4 now. I mean, it's not officially confirmed yet, but there's rumors that that's happening. And since they're still having Iron Man appear in some of the other movies, like of course Avengers: Age of Ultron and Captain America: Civil War. Since they're still having him appear in these movies, it probably would be a good idea to make another Iron Man movie with just with Iron Man again. Since I think it probably would be better than just having him appear in these other movies like Captain America, Civil War, and Avengers: Age of Ultron and all that. I think they probably should make another Iron Man movie. And like I said, next Thor movie, Ragnarok, is scheduled for release until November 2017. So it's still a while to go. But maybe that will be the movie that Nostalgia Critic's hoping to see, where it'll be Thor being Thor. We'll just have to wait and see for that movie. But I still do enjoy the 2 Thor movies that are out right now. So and a lot of other people do too. So So I do think the Thor movies do their job. So yeah, but anyway, okay, so yeah, that does it for my review, Thor: The Dark World. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.